Hello lovely people of the world, I'm here to you, and welcome back to Play Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. If you press B while using the inkjet, you can get a small altitude boost, and keep in mind that the inkjet won't be able to fly if you're over a grade. As for the squid rings, don't worry about getting those unless you really want to. I'm not entirely sure why this level is called Iceman Stage when it really has nothing to do with ice or anything like that, but say levy. As we go across this area, I need to take a moment to appreciate the background because, holy sweet mother of epic Mickey, look at that Gameboy, look at it, look at it, look at it, it's so pretty and cool. This Gameboy makes me so happy. Like, man, I could just stare at that for a long time. You can see, but let's get at this skirt out of the way. You can see the boot up screen on that. It's just so cool. I have so many fond memories of the original Game Boy, and I'm gonna sound super old by saying that. But anyway, as we go across this area, this is another inkjet stage, and I always have a lot of fun with these ones because these levels are awesome. So we go across this area, and remember to press the B button to jump up when you're flying. Again, I really wish I knew this when I first started playing Splatoon because I didn't know this for the longest time until I played this campaign. We shouldn't have made that, but then we did, and that was awesome. Alright, let's go across this area and be careful. I don't see any more Game Boys in the background. That makes me sad, but the one that we did see over there is just all kinds of awesome. One of my favorite memories of playing on a Game Boy was this one time where my family was driving out into town at night, and I brought my Game Boy with me to play Link's Awakening, and there was this. It's pretty interesting trying to play a Game Boy at night in the car, because for those of you who don't know, the Game Boy didn't have a backlight, which meant that you kind of had to rely on a light pointing at it to be able to see the screen, and driving through a dark town at night and only being able to see the screen every few seconds whenever a street light went by, it was a pretty interesting experience. I want to say that the exact level that I was playing, I think I was in the Bottle Grotto dungeon when that experience happened, but I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. Please score a bingo for me. A bingo means 3 8-balls lined up vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. Once a ball falls into a hole, the next one will appear. You'll get 4 balls to use. Alright, so this level is pretty fun. Again, we have to admire the background details because we get those spinny thingies that you see at casinos. I've only ever been inside a casino once, but it wasn't actually to gamble or anything like that. I was getting food there. But I'm not somebody who would be interested in gambling in real life because I don't really like the idea of it. I mean, as it is, I don't even really do a whole lot of stuff like that in video games or anything like that. But this level is pretty fun. I like this one. We have George the 8-ball and his buddies go across over here to try and fall into those holes. And oh, this is not a good spot. That's not a good spot at all. Oh no, that's bad. That's potentially problematic. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Go up there. Go up there. Go up there. Close enough. Okay, we basically needed to land in that center one if we're gonna be able to go through this. You only get 4 8-balls. No! So as we speed up this footage, I just wanted to say that you only get 4 8-balls to do this. So my strategy would be to try to make it so that if you can't get exactly where you want to go, try to aim it at a point where you could potentially get 2 spots for bingos if you can't get the one that exactly you want. Yay, we did it! This test involves shooting ink switches and moving on before enemy ink reverses them. I suggest moving on quickly after inking each switch. If a switch gets inked over, keep calm and ink it back. Alrighty then, so how this level is going to work is these switches right here will change how these platforms are going to move depending on what color ink is covering it. So we cover it in our own ink, and the platform will go downwards, but then the spreader will cover it in its own ink, and it'll go back to normal. So the best strategy that I can recommend is try to aim it so that the ink will start covering the square after the spreader goes by it. So that's pretty much it. It's not really complicated or anything like that. It just takes a little bit of time. And we did it! Yay! Also, those Game & Watches over there, they just look so cool. I know I said this in the previous episode, but I've never actually owned a Game & Watch system before. But it would be cool to try one. Alright, so what you want to do is that you want to have both of these platforms lowered. So we can go over here. You can take out those Octarians if you really want to. There's really no point in doing so. So that's the reason why I'm not doing it. But we go over this direction. And this right here, watch out for the flutters because they will cover this back in regular ink and it's not really that pleasant. Whew. Oh, wow, that was really convenient. I think that was the quickest I've ever completed that area. Alright, so we gotta be quick about this. Alright. That's pretty cool. Let's head up here. And go fly. And this part could be pretty tricky. Ah! Alright, so the balloon right here is pretty good for covering a large amount of ink. So that's pretty decent. Just watch out for the giant whatever this guy's called. Alright. Sorry if I'm seeming a little bit more quiet in this area. I'm trying to concentrate. And this part right here always intimidates me. I gotta be honest. I always get intimidated going through this area. Because, especially right now where I can't hear my game audio. I can't hear my game audio, so I can't hear when he's coming. And it's always very surprising when you turn the camera, like, oh, he's suddenly right there. That's it. That's not nice. Alright, so one thing I could definitely recommend is, and I know of her, and I know I'm not doing this, so you probably, I'm not taking my own advice, but a good strategy would be to try to keep your camera on the giant, whatever this guy's name is. The reason why I'm not doing that is because I just didn't feel like it. Go around here. And you're falling on your face. Okay, that's weird. Whenever they fall on their face, what am I trying to say? Whenever they fall on their face, they will recolor the switches in their own ink. So that's not very nice. Okay, get the platform. We did it! Yay! And now that we've taken care of all that, that's going to be it for this episode's portion of Octo Expansion. So now let's move on to the imaginary land of alternate save file. Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to the imaginary land of alternate save file. Today we're going to be playing through the last of the online matches we need to play through Camp Triggerfish, Rainmaker. I'm so sad that we have to see the stage go. I love Camp Triggerfish. Alright, before we get into the weapons this time around, there's a fun story I'd like to talk about with the stage in particular. So, Camp Triggerfish is my sister's absolute favorite stage in Splatoon. Longtime viewers are going to probably recognize her as Mini Beanie, but Camp Triggerfish is her absolute favorite stage in Splatoon history, and she was really disappointed that this wasn't available at launch. So every few months or so, she would ask me, Lady you, when's Camp Triggerfish coming to Splatoon? Why isn't it there yet? And every now and then I had to tell her, I don't know when it's coming. They haven't announced anything about it appearing in the game yet. saying goodbye to Camp Triggerfish, and saying hello to New Hypercolor Hotel, both of which on Rainmaker. Now let's talk about the weapon this time around. So, the next line of weapons we're talking about is the last one in the game, and also one of the entirely brand new ones in Splatoon 2 that was never seen before in the first game, the Brella Weapons. So, Brellas are really cool because they're basically like a shotgun with a shield, and that is all kinds of epic. So how it works is that you attack with the shot once, and then the umbrella opens up, which can protect you from enemy ink. This doesn't always protect them though, because after a couple shots, the umbrella will break, and the sloshers can go over the shot as well, so that's something that's definitely dangerous, and you need to keep an eye on that. But the umbrellas themselves are very, very powerful, and some of my more personal favorite weapon class in this game. We're going to be talking about one of them this time around because, as you may tell by how much longer there is for this video, we don't have a lot of time to discuss weapons this time around. So we're going to be talking about the most basic version of a Brella weapon, the Splat Brella. There are quite a few versions of this, and there's a lot to go over, so we need to go through this quickly. The Splat Brella comes with a Sprinkler and an Inkstorm on level 9. The Sorella Brella comes with an Autobomb and a Splat Bomb launcher on level 15, and this one was originally going to feature a Toxic Mist, but this was changed to an Autobomb. The Hero Brella Replica, just like the regular version, comes with a Sprinkler and an Inkstorm also unlocked to level 9, but you need to complete every Octo stage with the Brella weapon to unlock this one. So this is the most basic version of a Brella weapon, and it's a great way to introduce you to this class of weapon because it's a bit different from what we've seen before. And it really does take some getting used to whenever you're playing through this one, but Brella weapons are definitely worth it. So, the interesting thing about this one is that, as we mentioned during the Octo Canyon episodes of this Let's Play, this weapon appeared in Octo Canyon before it ever actually appeared in the online multiplayer modes. So, this is really interesting because when you complete every level in Octo Canyon with a weapon, you have the ability to buy a replica of it in the store. But because this weapon was available in Octo Canyon before online, you couldn't do that yet, because it wasn't available in the store yet. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any footage of this or anything like that, but what I imagine probably happens was you get the notification that you beat the mode with you beat every level with that weapon or things like that, and there just wasn't an option to buy the store or anything like that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do this before the Brella Weapons actually became available online, so I couldn't test this myself. So that's something that's a bit interesting. Or rather, ink-interesting. Get it? Ink. Splatoon buns. But anyway, another thing that's very interesting about Brella Weapons in particular is it's hinted that Brellas are Marina's favorite weapon in this game. So we've seen before how characters like Marie, she's a Splat Charger main, and according to this quote from the beginning of the game during the off-the-hook conversations, whenever you're on Humpback Pump Track, Marina will imply that she's a Brella main. So that's something that's pretty cool because it's good to know that the best waifu in this game has excellent taste in weapons. Alright, so it looks like we're approaching the end of this video, and now we've taken the lead, so will we be able to conquer all? No, we cannot. Not quite yet. I'm the best at commentating over gameplay, aren't I? I should be an esports announcer. Okay, real talk. I gotta talk about it real quick. So, this is a question that I have for my viewers, and I'm generally curious as to what you have to say about this. So, you know how colleges and universities, they have like some big grand sports team that makes them super rich or whatever? I don't entirely understand sports that much, and I don't really get why a big football team makes a college rich or anything like that. Like the college in my town, not the one that I go to, but a bigger university around the corner has this really big football team, and I don't quite understand why it's popular. But anyway, that's not the point right now. That's kind of a controversial topic anyway, because football's apparently a big deal. But anyway, yeah, sports. Let's go back to that real quick. So, what I'm curious about is, with the esports scene becoming bigger and bigger every year, what I'm curious about is how long it's going to be for something like a Splatoon esports thing to make a college rich or anything like that. So it probably won't happen with something like Splatoon because it seems like Nintendo games don't generally get that popular when it comes to that kind of stuff. So Fortnite's probably a better example. But how long do you think it'll be before like colleges have an official team of Splatoon players or something like that to represent their school? That'd actually be something that would be kind of cool. So I gotta say, this was probably one of the most intense matches that James and I played during our time playing through this when we were recording the footage. And it was really sad that I wasn't able to record the commentary with this because we were just laughing so much during the end with how close it got at the end. And that's going to be it for this episode of Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and until next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh yeah.